Hi everybody, it's great to be back here again on Itamar. Of course, it's been a very, very hard month. It's been the hardest month of my life, putting it mildly. But right now we have to go on. If we look around, my backyard over here, we're getting ready for the Pesach holiday. Right now we hear the breeze of this wonderful wind that's blowing in here. And everything is turning green again. It is this month, the month of Nisan, that we have to bless over the trees, and we bless over the trees flowering. And that of course is a sign after the winter months where everything is dormant and everything is dead and just seems like there's no more life left in it. Everything just grows and just starts bursting forth in the spring. And this is the beauty, of course, of this month, the month of the Jewish nation leaving Egypt, reaching its freedom, receiving the Torah later on, and of course coming to the land of Israel. And this beautiful freedom and birth was preceded, of course, by slavery and difficult situations. And right now I'm going to bless over the trees, which I haven't done yet. I haven't found the strength yet to bless. But now, today, right now, it's right before Shabbat, of course, a few hours to Shabbat. And this is called Shabbat HaGadol, the Great Shabbat, the Shabbat before Pesach. And I feel now I can bless over the tree. And I want right now to interrupt and show you the actual blossoms of the tree that I'm going to say the blessing on. So I'm going to turn this camera to the wildlife here in my backyard. Right now I'm focusing here on that bud over here on the pear tree. If you could see it. And let us move this other direction over here. Well, first we can get a beautiful look at these other flowers. But we bless over fruit trees, so I'm going to turn here to the lemon blossoms. They're beautiful. Let's get closer to them. You can actually see the beautiful blossoms of the lemon here. There we go. Okay. And here's another tree in blossom right below us. If you look over here, a beautiful tree there blossoming. That's a pear, not a pear tree, but below us is a plum tree in blossom. Well, after that wonderful blessing over the trees, now, I'd like to tell our dear friends a little bit about what's going on over here on Itamar for the last couple of weeks. First of all, right after this terrible tragedy, after the 7 mourning days, I had a phone call from very, very, very special friends in New York, and mentioned that Moshe and Leah, you must come right now. People in New York want to know what's going on. And when you come and talk to us a little bit, spend the weekend, go to a certain community for a weekend and at least reflect some of your feelings of what's going on and tell the world what's happening on Itamar. So we really, of course, didn't feel it was the right time to leave the community. But after one phone call and one Skype in, kept Skyping me in, the famous Skype, and our friends really were very adamant. They said, you must come in. We decided to make a trip in. Once we came in, they told us you have to extend your trip because we only supposed to stay for like a few days. It ended up being 2 weeks. And amazingly, we spoke in more than 70 different places. We literally spoke to thousands of people in the New York, New Jersey region. The feelings that Leah and I, the feelings that we have is that there's no doubt this terrible, terrible tragedy has caused a huge, great awakening amongst the Jewish community throughout the world, and the non-Jewish community as well, those who love Israel and are connected to the Jewish people. We feel right now that the nation is is reaching a new direction now, the nation of Israel. And it's very important that every person that feels this in his heart makes a change in any way he can. Whether he'll be thinking about Israel more often, where they were making some important steps to try to help Israel, and of course, coming on Aliyah, moving to Israel. We have to realize that the world situation now is a very volatile situation. We don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. Financially, the world is really undergoing very, very serious changes. And of course, there's always a reflection of something much deeper behind the scenes. What's going on over here? What is God telling us? And of course, everything that happens in the world eventually is part of a great puzzle of the redemption process, because we're not here in this world again for reasons of personal gain and personal progression, but we're in this world for a much greater purpose, and that's for having the word of God be heard in this world, letting the world reach true peace and tranquility, and to rectify mankind. And that's really the purpose of this world. Everything around it, everything on the by the way is by the way, really. It is secondary only to the most important cause, which is really being close to God in this world. And that's the job that every human being has. And it's the job of the Jewish nation, of course, to be a light to the nations, to teach the world Torah, to let the world know that God is a living God, and the nation of Israel has a lot to offer in education and light, not only in the scientific and mathematical side of the world. And that's an important fact, an important thing to stress. Well, getting back to the trip again, it was an amazing trip. We spoke in literally different schools. I mean, again, we got to thousands of people. We spoke to schools and mid-schools and high schools, and we spoke in Yeshiva University, and many, many other meetings as well. The overall feelings that we had were, again, that the nation of Israel has woke up, for now has woken up, and it is a time for action. It's a time that people feel that they can't remain silent anymore. For Zion, we will not remain silent. We will speak out and try to make a difference. Here on Itama, which, again, look how tranquil this place is, such a quiet place of peace and tranquility, there's no doubt about it, has been, right now, has been sending waves. It's been a tsunami over here throughout the world about this little town over here. And again, I mentioned before, and I'll say it again, is that this is not a personal tragedy. The tragedy of the Fogel family, just as the Holocaust, these are things that affect the entire nation of Israel. And after the terrible Holocaust, the State of Israel was formed. It was founded, the State of Israel. And after this tragedy, of course, there will definitely be a tremendous growth spurt here. There will be a great building on Itama and a great change. But we are targeted here because we are on the front lines. We represent the entire State of Israel. And we are not afraid to say that God gave us the land, and this is the land of the Jewish people. Is it the deed of the land? Is the Torah that God gave us? And those who go against us are going against the Lord of Israel, the God of Israel, who said right out, I've given you the land of Israel for an everlasting inheritance. And this is our land, this is our wonderful homeland. And from this we are fighting for. We are fighting to survive here, we want to live here. And no terrorist is going to uproot us from our land. Our response is going to be building, growing, and continue to thrive here in our land.